Life is beautiful until it isn't, until the storm arrives, unexpected and unrelenting, and leaves you questioning everything. Why do we suffer? Why does pain feel so endless, so personal, so unfair? In these moments, many of us lose our faith. We look to the heavens and cry out, "Where are you, God?" It's a question as old as time, whispered by countless hearts in their darkest hours. But what if suffering isn't the end of faith? What if it's the beginning of something deeper, something more meaningful? Today, we'll explore how pain can refine us, how doubt can strengthen us, and how even in the storm, the divine is closer than you think. The nature of suffering is universal. It spares no one, whether it's the pain of losing a loved one, the betrayal of trust, or the heavy weight of illness or financial hardship. Each of us will walk through the valley of despair at some point in our lives. But suffering doesn't just test our strength, it tests our faith. When life hurts, when prayers seem unanswered, when the silence feels deafening, it's easy to believe that God has abandoned us. Yet, what if suffering is not a sign of God's absence, but a chance to discover His presence in a way we never expected? To see our struggles not as punishments, but as invitations to grow, to trust, and to transform. A story of loss and redemption. Let me share a story with you. It's about a man named James, a man who, like many of us, thought his faith was unshakable. James had just married the love of his life. Their wedding day was perfect, laughter, joy, and dreams of a future together. But only a week later, his wife fell gravely ill. She passed away in his arms, and with her, it seemed, his faith in God. For months, James was consumed by anger and despair. He stopped praying. He pushed away his friends and family. "Why would God take her from me?" he would ask, over and over again. "How can I trust a God who allows this?" But one day, while going through her belongings, James found a letter she had written before their wedding. In it, she told him, "If I can't be with you, promise me you'll keep living. Trust in God's plan, even when it doesn't make sense." Her words became a spark, a flicker of hope in his darkness. Slowly, James began to rebuild his faith. He started journaling, reflecting not on what he had lost, but on what his suffering could teach him. He read the works of Marcus Aurelius and found solace in the idea that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. James's story is just one example of how suffering can transform us. But how do we move from despair to hope, from doubt to trust? The Stoics remind us that suffering is not an obstacle, but a tool for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Pain is a forge that tempers the human spirit." Christianity teaches us that suffering has a redemptive power. In Romans 5:3-4, we learn, "We glory in our sufferings, because suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope." Even Jesus himself endured the ultimate suffering on the cross, showing that faith can triumph over the greatest pain. In Islam, the concept of sabr, patience, is central to enduring hardship. The Quran beautifully reassures us. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. 94:6. In every trial, there is a promise of relief and a reminder that faith is strengthened through endurance. Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment, and by letting go, we can achieve inner peace. In Hinduism, suffering is understood as part of the karmic cycle, an opportunity to grow spiritually. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us to act with detachment. You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Taoism offers us a profound way to embrace suffering by aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life, the Tao. Lao Tzu teaches, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Pain is not a disruption of the way, it is part of it. By flowing with life's challenges rather than resisting them, we find harmony. Hermeticism reminds us that as above, so below, as within, so without. This wisdom teaches that the microcosm of our personal suffering reflects the greater cosmic order. What seems chaotic and painful now is part of a universal balance and purpose. Different faiths, different teachings, but they all point to the same truth. Suffering is not meaningless. It is a bridge, a process of transformation, and an opportunity to deepen our connection to the divine. Practical steps to reclaim faith. So, how can we use these truths to restore our faith in God? Here are some steps you can take today. Reflect on your suffering. Take time to journal your pain. Ask yourself not why did this happen, but what is this teaching me? Practice gratitude. Even in your darkest moments, there is something to be grateful for. Start with one thing each day. It could be as simple as the warmth of the sun or the kindness of a stranger. Serve others. Helping those in need shifts your focus from your own pain to the greater good. Through service, you'll discover purpose and connection. Surrender control. Faith grows when we accept that not everything is within our power. Through prayer or meditation, release your burdens to the divine. You are not alone in your suffering. Millions of people have stood where you stand, asking the same questions, feeling the same doubts, but you have a choice. Will you let your pain break you, or will you let it build you? Today, take one step forward. Whether it's journaling, praying, or helping someone in need, choose to turn your pain into purpose. If this message has resonated with you, if you found a spark of hope or wisdom here, we invite you to join us on this journey of discovery and transformation. The Cosmic Thread is a space where ancient teachings meet modern lives, where we explore the threads that connect us all to the divine and to each other. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this shared journey.